Yep. Action.
Can you turn that a little bit to where it yeah, this way, just a little bit. Center. Okay, there we go. Good. Thank you. All right, what's going on? Welcome to the Session Sports Minute, where we talk sports and things of all sorts. I'm your boy Marcus Session, and I got with us today my man Jason Snyder, former Baylor golf standout. He's going to talk to us about the state of the game in golf, the recruitment process for college athletes or for high school athletes trying to play golf in college. Also about Tiger Woods and what's going on tour. Also, I got my man Eugene McIntyre back, here to talk in some NBA stuff. And once again, my co-host, Mr. Mickey Murray. Say hi to everybody, man, before we start arguing.
How y'all doing?
All right, let's dive right into it. Brother Snyder.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Marcus. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, bro. Do I have to start talking like that now?
If you want to.
So, look at it. So, let's talk about golf. The recruitment process. I'm not really sure how that works with golf. I know how it works with basketball, football. Typically, 7-on-7 guys get recruited outside of maybe playing for your high school. In basketball, it's the AAU programs outside of playing for your high school basketball team. That's how you get seen by colleges. How does that work in golf?
Well, it's really not all that much different in golf. Obviously, we don't have the same types of budgets as college, D1 programs that have major football and basketball recruiting. But it's a lot the same. Like I could tell you my personal story, like how I started. I just started out playing high school golf. Started playing in the CJGA, kind of like you're saying, kind of how you get noticed, Colorado Junior Golf Association, because I'm from Colorado. Then moved on to AJGA.
You from Colorado?
Around the country, yeah.
You get drug tested? I'm just.
It's been a while.
No.
So then started playing around the country, and that's kind of how I started getting on people's radars and stuff like that, playing in the AJGA.
When you played around the country, was it like, okay, with AJGA?
Yeah.
So was it like you were part of a group or a certain sponsored club, and y'all traveled together, or was it just alone like you're doing on tour?
No, it's alone.
Or like
it's
a professional
alone. It's
tour?
a lot of just me and my dad in the car, doing some
Okay,
driving, and just driving across the country, going to different places.
Okay.
Been to, when I was in high school, made a stop in Austin, made a stop in Dallas, some trips to California. We had a couple things in Colorado, but it was basically the same thing.
Okay, cool.
And I don't know how it worked with you in basketball, but what we finally had to do was we signed up with a recruiter, and
really?
basically what they did was almost build us like a baseball card.
Right.
And so we basically took films of our swing, playing golf, stuff like that. And then they also had our stats and everything that we've done, that we'd accumulated throughout our 4 years in high school. Sent it off to colleges.
So sort of like Max Preps.
Almost, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then we started getting calls back from schools. They don't have like I said, they don't have the budget to send the coaches out really to go out and see.
Right.
Someone like myself, maybe like a Jimmy Walker or something like
Right.
that. They'll send someone out, but
And I would think on some of those AJGA tours that they would have all the coaches would be able to go there.
yeah, they'll go there and they'll
Yeah.
watch, and you'll see them every once in a while. But basically, what I did was when I went around, I was lucky enough to go visit the schools that I was interested in, visit the schools that were recruiting me, and that's kind of how the whole thing goes down.
Okay. So what would you suggest for any athletes in our local area who are golfers who are trying to get seen?
I'd say sign up for as many tournaments as you can. Get involved with the Texas Golf Association. Get involved especially with the AJGA. That's kind of how you start to get seen on a national level, and let it evolve from there. Probably a good process would be to speak with some of the recruiters that are out there, because what they have access to is all the different coaches that are out there, and they have basically a microphone to tell them about yourself,
Cool.
so you can stand out a little bit more.
Cool. Now let me ask you this one question, kind of controversial. Do you think there should be more black people in golf? You don't have to answer that, man.
I wish there was.
Tough sport. Tough sport.
There was. It's built. They're building it more and more. Who's building it better than
Who's there?
the brand of Tiger Woods?
Who are they?
They would be the golf association.
That's what you man. So okay, so that's really insightful information. So what would you think? How do you think the state of the game in golf is today?
Oh, I think the state of the game right now is healthier than it's ever been.
Really?
I mean, we have so many future stars. Yeah, I mean, just look at what's going on today. We're missing the tournament right now, but I mean, it's just the whole leaderboard is just packed full of young talent. I
Right.
mean, you look at Justin Thomas, like Brooks.
Yeah, I heard some good things about Thomas.
Yeah, I mean, you got Jordan Spieth, Rory McIlroy. I mean, Ricky Fowler. All these guys. It's just the field is stronger every year.
Right. So how do you think that affects a veteran like Tiger?
I think it motivates him.
You should.
Down. And, guys like Tiger, Phil, I think it really motivates them to sharpen their game and keep up with these young kids.
Right.
A question though.
Yeah.
Do you with his last 2 tournaments, he played fairly decent.
Yeah.
I know he started off this tournament well. Do you ever see him really getting back? Of course, not to the dominance that he once had,
Right.
but do you ever think he'll get back to at least placing, say, top 10 the majority of his tournaments that he's playing? You ever see him getting back?
Absolutely, I do. He's been getting stronger and better every year. I mean, you got to remember the guy's 42, I think.
Right.
41, 40,
Yep.
something like that. He's had 4 back surgeries.
Yeah.
You know, he's had, his back fused. So he's been through a lot. Not only that, he's changed every aspect of his game. He's changed his drivers. He's changed the ball. He's gone to a lower compressor ball. He's changed his woods. He's changed his irons. He's moved to different companies. Now, he's still with Nike, but now he's using TaylorMade products. So he's changed all of that, and I think that's.
Well, I
just
think
because
Nike
he's so
bought out
motivated.
TaylorMade a couple years ago.
Yeah, they did,
Yeah.
but they're still using the TaylorMade brand.
Mhm.
And but I mean, it just speaks to how motivated he is, and
Right.
he's doing. Tiger is notoriously not one of those people that likes to change things, and to see
Right.
him change and all that stuff, and to get progressively better, I think you're going to see good things from him coming in the future. And this tournament's not over yet, but last I checked, he was
Yeah, he's looking good.
2 back
Yep.
from the lead, so he's in second place right now. So.
Yeah.
And with all of those changes, do you think those changes are more due because of his game, or is it because of the surgeries and the things that he probably is not physically able to do like he once was?
I think it's like what you guys brought up earlier. He's trying to remain and be more competitive, and he's realizing that technology is playing a big part of that nowadays, a lot bigger than it was back in his heyday.
Yeah.
The ball is going so much farther. Clubs are, they're just technologically a lot better.
You have to evolve.
Yeah, and you got to
Absolutely.
evolve, and that's
Yep.
basically what he's doing.
Okay, cool, man. That's
Yeah.
some good golf talk.
Yeah, got to mix it up.
Got to mix
Oh,
it
yeah,
up a little
absolutely.
bit, So we're gonna keep it moving. So I want us to discuss Terrell Owens. I know this topic is a little old. I mean, after a day or so, topics are old these days. But for the last 2 years, Terrell Owens did not get nominated.
Voted into
Voted
the
into the voted into the Hall of Fame.
when he definitely
Right.
should have been in the first ballot.
He definitely should have been the first
agree.
ballot Hall of Famer. But I got a quote from Chris Carter. I was looking at an interview. Chris Carter said, when you compare the numbers, and he's never a man to brag, but he brought up his numbers and proved how that made him one of the top maybe 5 wide receivers all time, right? And he said that only to say he had to wait 5 years to get in, and still, when he got in, it wasn't a problem. He accepted it as an honor, and he went through the regular course of celebrations and protocol that every other inductee goes through. Why does Terrell Owens? Why does T.O. have to be T.O. in a moment like this?
You want me to go? Or you?
Yeah,
That's what he does.
I mean, I'll give it a go real quick. I think everybody's different, so you can't base it Chris Carter on what Terrell Owens would do.
I definitely agree.
And T.O. is an explosive personality.
Right.
yeah.
So he has a choice to do that. I have no problem with what he did at all.
Okay, let me explain so the audience, maybe those who are tuning in who haven't been briefed on the situation. So he finally gets inducted, right? And instead of going with the normal ceremony, he has his own ceremony
That's
at
T.O.?
Tennessee Chattanooga. That's where he went to college. He has his own ceremony
Yeah.
on his college campus, and with his own speech, with his own everything, all him, right? So I think more so this caters to his own ego as opposed to anything. He don't want to share the spotlight with anybody, for one. For two, I think it's like a.
And I disagree.
And I think in some very sick, sadistic way, he's thinking he can get back at them for not inducting him in the first 2 years.
Well, I don't necessarily see it as getting back at him. I think the Chris Carter is a good point. However, he wasn't as cut and dry as T.O. He definitely wasn't the wide receiver that T.O. was. And T.O., judging by the numbers, is definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Right.
So I think T.O.'s mindset more if the Hall of Fame is the one thing that's not objective.
It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be.
Right. It's the one thing where, regardless to what the narrative is out there about me, my numbers say I'm a first ballot Hall of
The
Famer.
eye test as
Right.
well.
And just because you had to wait doesn't mean me waiting, it justifies that wait. So I think he's saying, okay, y'all kept me out for a reason that I don't agree with, that a narrative that's beyond to me. You know what I mean? I'm going in and I want to go in this way. So I don't want to adhere to the way y'all normally do things when Hall of Famers go in, because y'all didn't adhere to what y'all normally adhere to when you're voting on a Hall of Famer. So I don't see it really more. I don't see it as I want the attention. I think I see it more as look, this is what I want to do. I'm always a component of doing things. What's going to make you happy, or what you feel you need to do. My dad always told me this, and I agree with this. He's always said, son, you have to do what's going to make you happy. You can't try to please everybody.
No.
You got to do what you can live with, and what's going to make you happy.
Even if the motive is that, because I don't think this is just something that, I don't think he's doing this just because it'll make him happy. That's different.
Well,
I want the kind of car because it makes me happy. It
Well,
has
I think
nothing
he
to do with
didn't
anybody
feel,
else.
Well, but I disagree, because I don't think he would have felt comfortable adhering to what the norm,
yep,
right,
yep.
Of what they do. Listen to
I'm
me,
with you.
because they didn't do it. So I don't think he would have been happy standing up there saying, you know, now I'm going to do everything that y'all want me to do, because now I'm in here when y'all made me wait 3 years and I shouldn't have had to wait. So
Chris
I
Carter
do
shouldn't have
think-
had to wait.
But we're not talking about Chris Carter.
Two
We're
different-
talking about
two
T.O.
different
And then I think that's where we
personalities.
go wrong,
Yeah.
is when we try to compare situations and different peoples. And
But didn't we say last week you were mad at Dak Prescott because he didn't go along with
no,
what every other athlete?
No,
or
and
black
I
athlete
think
should
and
have
I
been
think
doing?
that's where we was misconstrued, or where I was. I was definitely not mad at Prescott for doing what
Having
he
his own
wanted to
opinion,
do.
just
no,
like Terrell Owens.
we all can have our own opinion. I will never ever be mad at anyone for having their own opinion. Where I was upset and where I thought he would cross the line is when he basically said, "Okay, I don't agree, and I'm going to stand." He can do that. But when he made it sound like Dak had did
Because
something
he
wrong,
didn't say Cap did anything
Yeah.
wrong.
yes, he alluded to when he
No.
said this is not the
No, we
not
can't
the right
go.
decision.
We can't
Listen
go
to me,
there.
listen
Come
to
on,
me,
man.
listen
You
to
say,
me.
when you say he alluded to, that's something that can be misinterpreted or reinterpreted
No.
to mean something else.
When you say
alluded
okay,
to.
put it this way.
If he
you
said-
kneel, no,
unless he
listen,
came out and
Session,
said-
can I finish?
I want to finish it. Unless this is the problem I get into with all my relationships. I talk and I argue. Look, unless he came out and said they were wrong for doing that,
That's what he
You
did.
can't- oh,
when
God.
you say this is not the time or the place, you're saying this is not the time or the place.
we
It
fought
shouldn't
about that
happen.
last week, man.
We did.
We did. What you think? Do you think that black men should stand up for the?
But seriously, in all seriously, everybody can have their own opinion.
Yes.
But
Right.
when he alluded that Cap had did something wrong, that's when I had a problem.
No, but seriously, I would like to get your thoughts on this. This is all jokes aside. I mean, like, what are your
Well,
thoughts on this?
I mean, if we're still talking about T.O. and what he's decided that he wanted to do, I mean,
Right.
that's what he always does. Hasn't he done that?
T.O.
That's what he does. I mean, we shouldn't expect anything less from him.
Nope.
I mean, just like you said, he wanted to steal the spotlight. That was his way of doing it. That was his way of putting all the attention on him, having everyone in media, including us, talking about him right now.
Right. So let me go
For
in.
good or for bad, you know, that's the
It's him for what it's worth.
Yeah.
Right? At face value, it's T.O. So let me go into this quote that Charles Barkley said. I might do it in the Charles Barkley voice too, so bear with me. Erner, let me tell you something, Erner. So I'm not going to do it in Charles Barkley voice, but I'm going to read you Charles Barkley's quote. T.O. is selfish, and I think he is doing the wrong thing and short-sighted, and he should have went to the Hall of Fame induction.
I think he's a hypocrite.
You think
Exactly.
Charles? Why do you
Yeah.
think Charles is a hypocrite?
Exactly.
Charles was similar to T.O. in terms of his personality.
Charles went.
Well, we're just talking about his personality.
Right.
I think he has
Yes,
some
he was.
similarity. He threw
Okay.
somebody through the window.
I lived. And I lived
So hold on,
and
hold on,
this is the
hold on.
thing, and I
Yeah,
lived
I
in
mean-
Phoenix when all of that was going on. I grew up in
I
Phoenix.
don't know
So
that's
somebody,
what
he
we
threw
do.
somebody through the window in Houston, though.
And he spit on somebody too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you come in, Chuck is the nicest guy. I met Chuck like 5
Now,
times.
now,
Had a conversation with him.
now,
Sat next to him
now,
at games. We talked
now,
everything. He didn't know
now,
me from Adam the first time we saw each other.
Chuck was
But
just
hold
as
on.
controversial
Very
when he was playing
controversial.
early on in his
But let
career
me tell you something.
as T.O. was.
But that's actually that was the first time I met him when I was in high school. But let me tell you something. Chuck is the kind of guy that he's gonna be cool unless you start messing with him.
T.O.
Now-
the same way.
Now, come on, who messed with
The
T.O.
Hall of
by allowing
Fame,
him into the Hall of Fame?
voters, the
Who messed
committee,
with- the
whoever,
voters
they
messed
mess
with
with
him?
him. Yeah.
Oh, come on.
He's
man.
first ballot. It's not even a question.
Chris Carter's first
No,
ballot.
I'm not
No,
rolling
Chris
with that.
is not first
rolling
ballot.
with that. Not rolling.
First, he's not first.
Not
ballot.
rolling.
And he's an excellent receiver. He's
Not
definitely
rolling.
not a first ballot.
T.O. is first ballot, hands
He's
down.
definitely not.
It's not
and,
even close.
and he had great hands. He was a good receiver, real good receiver. Not first ballot.
I don't have his numbers on me, but I'm gonna bring those
no.
numbers next week.
No, eye test.
Oh, eye test. Come on, man.
That's what it's all about.
No, you can't say eye test because that has to
Yes,
because
I
you
can say
don't
eye
use
test.
eye test in basketball. We're gonna talk about that. In a
First of
minute.
all, Chris Carter.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Carter had hands. He was more of a possession receiver. First of all.
He was.
Okay, so if you look at the Hall of Fame, most of those guys that are going in first ballot, those are big play type of guys that not just
Impact.
move the chain. Yes, those are impact players.
Yep.
It's a difference when you say a Hall
So
of
you
Fame.
saying an impact player is worth more than a consistently
No.
impactful player?
What I'm saying is
It
a
goes
first
together.
ballot Hall
Chris
of
Carter's
Fame.
more consistent than I guess all of
Not-
outside
But he
of
wasn't a
Jerry
game
Rice.
changer. You know, he's not a game.
I
a
said
game
outside
changer.
of maybe Jerry
Yeah,
Rice.
he's not a game changer.
He's more consistent than
Then probably all the top 5 outside of maybe Jerry Rice.
as far as what?
As far as his consistent play over the entire course of his career,
He doesn't impact the game though.
how does it not impact the game?
I'm not rolling.
No.
Not like T.O., not like Jerry.
Most of the first
No,
ballot
sir.
wide receivers are going to be people that are explosive,
Okay,
and
yeah.
people that are game changers.
Game changer.
People
So
that you
saying
have
Chris
to.
Carter wasn't a game changer.
No.
No, he was a possession receiver.
I
He
bet.
had good hands. He's needed to be on a successful offense. You would need to have.
So that's a game changer.
No.
No.
You can't plug Chris Carter in any team like you can plug Jerry Rice.
I'll put it this
or
way.
T.O.
He will help you win a game,
Yeah.
but he ain't gonna win a game for
No.
you. T.O. gonna win a game for you. Randy Moss gonna win a game for you. Harrison gonna win a game for you. Jerry Rice gonna win a game
I
for
test.
you. That's
Trust-
a first
trust-
ballot Hall of Famer from a wide receiver standpoint.
Trust
I
it.
feel
Trust
like,
your
I
eyes.
feel like Scar on the line.
I put it this way: I can
Hanging out
find me a
with the
possession
hyenas.
receiver. I can find me a possession receiver before I can find me a T.O. or Randy Moss, a game
Or
changer.
Jerry, yeah.
Game changers are hard to find.
I'm conceding.
in the
I'm gonna give you
NFL.
that for now. I'm conceding. I'm gonna give you that for now.
Just go.
But-
Don't concede. Say we right.
I'm not
Just
gonna
be
say you're
honest.
right.
Just be. Let's
Look,
just be real.
Look,
Be
here's the
honest.
deal. The competitive nature in me won't allow me to say you're right. Let's just get that understood.
You don't
right
have
now.
to. The people
I would-
see
the
and they
people
know we
don't-
right. So that's
They
good
may
enough
not-
for
They
me.
may think you're right on this one issue, and I'm gonna go ahead and concede. You know, like
Please concede.
it's a presidential race.
Yeah,
you know,
the eye
I'm not
test
going to
more
admit
than-
I lost. You might have 53% of the popular vote. I don't care.
But in reality, he's saying he thought about and he heard what we were
Yep.
saying and he really agrees.
Absolutely.
He just don't want to
You
say
just don't want to say
it.
it.
And that's all right. That's all right.
That's all right.
It happens every day.
Every day. All right, so let's still talking about kind of football.
Okay.
Or no, let's go with the NFL power rankings. I only see one thing when I look at this power ranking. I'm a cheesehead.
Okay.
I only see Green Bay. I only see the fact that we're getting Aaron Rodgers back.
Okay.
And I see the fact that we're getting Jake Ryan back, right? To some degree, come back from that ACL tear. And Oren Burks, he's our rookie defensive back. I see we getting him, and I'm feeling real good about our chances this season. We come in as a number 8 on the power ranking. I feel good about our chances this year. What are your thoughts?
I think number 8 is a little high.
A little high for the Pack.
Yeah,
How do
but
you
I
feel
do.
about Aaron Rodgers this year? I mean, he's aging. He's
Think
getting
about
injured.
that.
He's been getting hurt lately.
The thing about that collarbone injury is that I'm having issues with my collarbone.
Are
now.
you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, this happened from an injury I got this is basketball. This happened from an injury I got in 2006, right? That I still kind of feel pain with, right? So and maybe I didn't let it heal the right way, but I was playing basketball,
Right.
a lot less physical than football.
He's protected though.
He's protected. The quarterback is the most
Right.
protected position in the game.
I think
But
he'll
at
be
the same time, if you see that hit he took last year, look, it was a
Right.
regular routine hit.
Right.
Regular routine tackle. I don't think dude should have been penalized. Regular routine tackle. He hit the ground, and next thing you know, his collarbone's broke. The thing I'm saying is, quarterbacks are more fragile than you think because they haven't been hit their entire career. Like I don't think Brady's been hit. I'm exaggerating, maybe about 4 times his whole career.
It's possible.
Right. So these dudes aren't taking those kind of hits.
Well, that's the rules. It
Those
is
are
what it
rules,
is.
right? And when they do take a hit like
Yeah.
that, bam, they're hurt.
Yeah,
and,
that's true.
and like I said, the older he gets, the more difficult it's going to be for him to heal.
Is
So I don't
it
even,
right or left?
I think it's left.
Okay.
So I don't know if he's able. I don't know if he's even 100% right now. But even if he's not, he's gonna play. That's the competitor that he is. He's gonna play. He's gonna suit up. But not letting that thing heal completely and coming back too early and taking another hit like he did, we could lose him for the rest of the year again.
Really?
So I don't know.
Well, if he's healthy, I would definitely put him. I don't know about 8. 8 is a little strong for me. I have him more 10 to 12ish. They went 7-9 last year.
You had the Steelers over them, is what you're saying?
Definitely got the Steelers over them.
Yeah?
Who?
Why?
What you mean?
I just wanna hear why. I'm not
Because they
arguing
have
with you. I just wanna
because
hear
they have the best offense
I thought you were going to say because they
in
had the best
NFL.
quarterback in the NFL.
No, I
No.
definitely don't think that.
okay.
I
I
don't.
was gonna-
And I
yeah,
and I
that's what I was
think and I
getting
think Big Ben is definitely. I think he's definitely
Yeah.
formidable.
He's definitely a
Formidable
game
opponent.
manager at this
Yeah.
point in his career.
Right, but the
Yeah.
weapons that he had with Juju now basically coming along. Of course, you got AB, arguably the best wide receiver in the game. Le'Veon Bell,
Le'Veon
arguably.
Bell, yeah.
I mean, with that offense, I mean, come on now, Packers they shouldn't even be mentioned with the Steelers right now.
So you think they're trying to piss the pack off by
I
ranking
don't know
them
what
number
they're
eight?
trying to do. I mean,
Packers ranked number 8. The Steelers ranked number 9.
like who is this your personal rankings?
This is my personal ranking.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I'm
Now
joking.
this
This ain't
is
my personal.
it gotta be somebody. It gotta be. But just really
This
the rankings
is
that
an
you saw they
this
had.
is an ESPN ranking.
Okay.
And they have this. They have.
Yes.
They literally have
yes,
Packers
they
on.
literally have the Packers
Eight.
one position ahead of the Steelers. 8 and 9.
Yeah, that's a little strong.
That is strong.
That's a little
strong,
strong. Because
right.
I have the Pats, of course, Chiefs, Steelers.
got
You don't have the
Jaguars.
Eagles one?
No, I
Philly.
don't have the Eagles one, but I have them over them. I'm just talking about that
Okay.
8, that Packers 8. You know
Okay.
that range. Eagles, of course, in front of them. I think the team to watch this year is going to be the Giants. They went 3-13 last year. Of course, they got ODB coming back. Arguably one of the best, if not the best, wide receiver in the game. They got Barkley, that running back. I think that offense is definitely. I definitely got them number
I really
2
like
in, the, in,
Barkley
the,
a lot.
in the
Yeah.
NFC East, but I got them. The Rams scary. They went 11-5 last year. They added Ndamukong Suh to that defensive
Right,
line
right.
that was
Right.
already good.
Right.
And just what he brings to the locker room in terms of his experience and being able to coach younger guys as well.
Right.
And that's priceless to that locker room.
So if Goff can take that next step as a quarterback, I think the Rams is definitely a team that's something to reckon with. Vikings, real scary. They went 13-3 last year, and that was without a running game.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
This year they have Cook coming back, which is I definitely think is talent-wise, he's a top 5 talent.
Yep.
You know what I mean, as far as the running back position. So
What about the Jags?
Jaguars.
Yep.
Jaguars scary. I see
Okay.
them being just as good.
That's what I got.
If we can get Bortles to be, and when I say we, not like I'm a Jags fan,
Right,
but,
right.
but I definitely love the
Right.
defense and love the potential that they have. If they can get more consistent at the quarterback position, I definitely see them going to the Super Bowl and capable of winning it with that defense.
So
Where do you have Denver?
I have Denver. I would put Denver right around in that 10. It depends. The
Like the
quarterback
Jags.
that quarterback position
Yep.
is what's hurting them. The
Yeah,
defense
it's been
is,
hurting them for a while.
is strong. We just can't get consistent since Peyton Manning left. We just
Right.
haven't been able to just
at the quarterback
pinpoint.
position.
And I'm more of a component of look. Pick somebody that you want to go with. Give them confidence.
Give 'em confidence.
Let's build around
Yep.
them, and let's go. As
Let's
opposed
develop.
to that, yeah.
And that's
opposed
what a
to
lot of
just
teams
switching
don't
these
want to do.
quarterbacks, and
Man.
I don't
It's
understand.
just be sold on one quarterback.
They don't.
Just give 'em out. Like I like the fact that we were sold on. I'm not a big Deshaun Watson fan, but I like the fact that the Texans came in last year. We're sold. Deshaun Watson is our quarterback. We're gonna ride with him.
Well, they did that later after like
Right,
the third
yeah.
grade.
Yeah,
they
they
wasn't
had
doing that at first.
forced
They had
into that.
salvage
They were
it.
forced into it, but you
Right,
see when
exactly.
you do it, it gives you better results, right?
Same thing with Cowboys.
Same with the Cowboys.
Yep.
Yeah. So, how do you see Deshaun doing this year, and how do you see it working out for our 99?
Well, 99, I think anytime you have a back injury, I don't care what you do, it's going to be hard
Larry
to come
Bird.
back to play, at the level that you was once. Deshaun Jackson, the one thing that I am liking it, we know from the start that this is our quarterback.
Right.
We know what he can do. We can actually put in things offensively to cater to his strengths. And as long as he can stay healthy, I'll definitely put them second.
Power ranker has him at 11.
That's a little high,
Yeah.
but I definitely see them behind the Jags in our division.
Right. I see that. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay. So, last thing, Kirk Cousins. Are you sold on Kirk Cousins?
As far as what?
As far as getting the Vikings to the promised land.
This year, to be honest
year,
with you,
yeah.
because he has the benefit of having a running back that I think is explosive, and then I think they're going to have to put 8-9 men in the box. I think he's going to do well. He did decent in Washington, but he didn't have a full cast of wide receivers
Right.
as well as a running
But I
game.
haven't paid attention. How's his protection this year, though?
Yeah.
His
offensive
protection
line.
is
Because it
It's
doesn't matter.
decent.
It doesn't matter. Those guys in the box, it's not gonna, his passing game is not going to matter if he's not protected well.
Right.
Well, it
'Cause he's not that
depends
kinda
because if you
evasive.
hand it, but this is the thing, and this is what helped. And I go back to Dallas a couple of years ago.
Right.
Yes, they had a good line, okay, but they were able to run the ball.
Mobility,
Okay,
gotcha.
So if you can have linemen that can help you run the ball,
Right.
you don't. Of course, you don't need to stand back there and throw the ball as much.
Right.
You can move,
So
move the needle.
I honestly
Yep.
think if the run game does what I think it can do with having that back with Cook back there,
Right.
then it's going to allow him to sit back there, you know what I mean, and make big plays over the top with a lot of man-to-man coverages, which you don't have to be as
Right.
you know what I mean, mobile,
As
or,
mobile
or,
and
or have to
evasive,
have
right.
a line that's as good
Right.
as you would normally need to have one.
Right. Okay. Cool. And that's what I was worried
So
about.
good that running game to me, the running game is everything.
Push the needle
Push the needle.
every 10 years, every 10 yards.
All right, that's some good NFL talk. So we're gonna keep it moving.
Yep.
NFL and NBA contracts. So we kind of still sticking with the NFL talks. The contractual differences. NBA, you have guaranteed deals.
Right.
Your standard rookie contract is 5-year deal, right?
4-year,
For-
fifth
for,
year option.
for the fifth year,
Yeah.
5th-year player option or
Team
team
option.
option
Yep.
for the 5th year.
Yep.
4-year deal, team option for the 5th year. So standard 5-year contract
Right.
if you at least improving and doing what they anticipate you're going to do over the course of your first 5 years of your career. So why are the contracts structured in the NFL to be non-guaranteed? You get a lot of money on the front end if you're good enough,
Right.
in the signing bonus. But you know, they cut you mid-season or they cut you next year, and essentially you just done, right?
I think it's because of the agreement that the players initially agreed with.
The
Number
CBAs.
one,
The collective bargaining
Yes.
agreements.
two is the physicality and the violence of the sport. It's kind of hard for an owner to say I'm going to invest long term when the average lifespan is what 4 or 5 years.
3
3 years.
Three to-
So
three to-
I understand
3 to
it
5
from that
years.
perspective, but as a player, I wouldn't agree to those terms originally in the CBA. Me personally,
Right.
in the NBA, players were different. They fought a little more because of what they were bringing in terms of national coverage and world coverage. So they're able to dictate the length and lifespan of the contract, as well as the basketball player, revenue that comes in is higher. So they were able to kind of negotiate a little bit better. Football, it should be even better
Higher per
because
player. I
per-
would say.
well, the
the
teams.
NFL brought in close to $14 billion.
right.
NBA brought in about $7.7 billion.
It's going up.
It's going up.
TV
Both of them are
deals, yeah,
going
they're
up
going
at
up.
least 20 to 22%
Right.
every year in revenue.
I blame the NFL players.
I blame the players too,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna touch on that. I just want to get your thoughts first before I go. on.
I just have a problem, and I don't understand with just piggyback what you're saying. It is a more violent and physical type of a game, so you would think that's even more so a
Incentive to
reason,
pay the guy.
yeah,
Like
to have
hazard
an
pay,
incentive-
essentially.
well, to just to have a guaranteed contract.
Right.
Right.
I'm more even a component of okay, if we know the lifespan of a football player is 3 to 5 years, let's go 4 to 5 years for those guaranteed contracts. Which
as a rookie,
well, yeah, as a rookie. I just don't get it. I don't understand why we're the only, or why football is the only major sport that doesn't have a guaranteed contract.
They have guaranteed in hockey.
That
No,
doesn't
they
make
don't.
that doesn't
Yeah,
make sense to me.
That's true. Well, it's the owners. I mean, they feel like it's their investment, their organization, so they want to try to protect it as best they can. But also, like I say, the players have to fight back with that. You
and
have to.
and to back up that, you got anything you want to say on
Yeah.
that?
No, I was going to say I agree completely with him that I think the onus is on the players to figure that out, to restructure their contracts.
And it is on the players, but you know why they don't? They're kind of afraid to sit out, lock out, and restructure those contracts because they go broke doing so. I know a lot of players that have been taking out loans because they only get paid for the 5 months they're playing.
Right.
Right. And if you're not smart with that, you're spending all your money within the season.
Right.
And now you're taking out a loan to get you through to the off season
Whenever
until
it's-
next
yeah,
season
yep.
when you start getting paid again for
Yep.
one. So if they go on strike, they're not getting paid, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the NBA, when players went on strike, what did they do?
Or they still had their money.
They stole money from me.
Yeah.
I played overseas
yeah,
mainly.
yeah.
They started going overseas, and guys like me started
Yeah,
losing jobs
yeah.
because NBA guys started going overseas.
Well, then too, it's a big difference between the caliber player because let's say what they were to strike, or let's just say a player was to hold out. If it's that lower level
Yeah.
type of a player, he's more easily replaceable. You know what I mean? Than let's say a 6-man in the NBA. You know what I mean?
But
a
still,
big
but-
man in the NBA is way more valuable
Right.
than let's say the second string right tackle for the
which that
Texans.
would make him like the 12th man.
Right.
But I say that to say, even the guy on the injury reserve list, on the inactive list, on the NBA roster, is worth a lot of money overseas.
Yes,
you know
yes,
this.
they're very true.
You know,
Yeah.
so take a guy who D-League guys are worth good money overseas.
They are.
They're worth low six-figure contracts
right.
overseas. We're talking about 120,000, 100,000,
Yep.
you know, 90, you know, and that's tax-free. You know, so these guys, if there's a strike, these guys are going overseas and just making a little bread, tax-free to play.
Right.
Darren Williams was in Turkey making $5 million.
Yep.
$5 million when they went on that last strike.
Right.
Right? He didn't miss a beat.
Right.
And of course, when the strike was over, he went right back to his team,
Right.
and he just didn't get paid the rest of the contract that he had in Turkey,
Right.
right?
Right.
So that was easy money. J.R. Smith went to China.
Right.
Not all the guys did. A few
Not
guys
all the guys
yeah.
did it,
Stephon Marbury.
right?
Yeah.
But the guys who wanted to keep playing, they wanted to keep
Just
making
keep
that
the
money.
coming in.
And I
Yeah.
know a lot of borderline guys went overseas.
Yeah.
You know when that happened. So I think that's the international market is what gives the NBA guys the backbone to say, or the leverage to say, we're gonna sit out. We're making money. Do whatever y'all need to do because y'all are losing more money than we're losing.
That's true.
Essentially,
That's true.
and it's gonna hurt y'all more because y'all are rich.
Yep.
And so that's what I think gives the NBA players the upper hand in leveraging those contracts. It's a sad dynamic, and I wish the NFL football players, you know, could have a way to structure their contracts better. But it just,
When's the CBA up in football? The next agreement shouldn't it be coming up
Should
soon?
be coming
I
up.
think they got like a year or two
Yep.
left on it.
Then they need to fight.
Yeah, and they're gonna be broke. And they,
Well, it's going to
you know,
take
Gotta
those,
do what you have to do.
and it's going to
do.
take those upper echelon athletes
Right.
to be the
Right.
ones. It's going to be the Tom Brady's. You know what I mean?
But I don't
the
think
first
he's going to
round.
go there. I'll be honest with you.
He
I don't
got
think
the-
at this point.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm just
he
saying.
has a
just to
brand.
make
Company
point.
man.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Be like, hey, I would throw to a replacement guy.
Yeah.
They definitely going to have to band together though.
Right.
If they want to get something done.
Okay. So the last topic, we got Salsa Eddie in the building. What's going on? The King Pioneer of Salsa. Man, don't bring your girlfriend to see him dance. So last topic we gonna touch on.
You looking at me?
You know why I'm looking at you, man. We got a lot of these LeBron supporters.
Yep.
A lot of these LeBron supporters. Okay, so when LeBron they came out with this news about LeBron James starting a school in Akron.
Jalen Rose did that.
Jalen Rose
Just so
did
you
it
know.
like I don't know how many years ago.
Some other people
Hold
did
on,
it too.
David 15. David Robinson been had a school in San Antonio.
He did.
And
I don't
these
know
are all
if he was giving them
schools.
free clothes
No,
and
they,
bikes and
yeah,
all
they're
that
fine.
stuff and tuition to college and all of that. I don't know if he was doing
But
all
then
of that.
those guys aren't even using public funds.
I get it. I don't.
Here's the deal. Here's my issue with the whole thing. You know I'm gonna let you talk. Here's my. I want to set it up for you. I like to set it up.
Please
I
set
like
it
to
up.
knock it out.
Please
Then I like
set
to
it
pass
up.
it
I
on
don't know
to
about
you.
them knockouts,
Right.
but please set it up.
They're saying, dude, I'm seeing all these posts on Facebook and all around social media saying LeBron James donates this charity, this
Right.
charity, and built a school. He's the GOAT. That's what I have an issue with.
Now,
How are you the GOAT just because you donate? You have so many athletes that donate in proportion to what he does,
Okay.
more in proportion to what he does.
I understand that, but I think first of all, I don't agree that he's the GOAT because of
I
what
got
he's
Facebook
doing.
snapshots, screenshots of you agreeing.
No,
You
you
said he
don't.
was the GOAT.
No,
You
don't.
said he's the GOAT because
No,
he
you don't.
donates.
No, you don't.
He's not even the best
No,
player
you
today.
don't. No, you don't.
To
You
midget
don't. You
orphans.
don't. You don't have that. The one thing I am is I know me and I'm consistent.
Gotcha.
All right. This is the thing.
Persistent. I don't know about consistent.
I don't think what he does, or anybody for that matter, what they do off the field makes them the GOAT on the field or on the court or
Shouldn't matter.
anything.
Shouldn't matter.
But this is what I think. This is what I think people are alluding to. It's very rare that you get a athlete of his stature.
It is not
Hold on, can I
rare.
finish my statement?
You can finish.
Can
man.
I finish
You
my
can finish.
statement?
My bad. You can finish.
A athlete of his caliber.
It is
to-
not. Go ahead.
Can
my
I
bad.
finish?
My bad. You can finish. Man.
Dang.
My bad. You can finish.
To do what he does, the way he does it, socially.
What do you mean the way
Socially.
he does it socially?
What is he
I
doing?
mean this.
What he just gets a mic
Hold
and
on,
says,
wait. No. This is what I. This,
I don't like
this,
Donald Trump.
This is what I mean. Well, politically, one, you don't normally see athletes of his caliber speaking out politically on their views of what they like, what they don't like, going against a president. You don't see that. Trayvon Martin, you wouldn't have seen Michael Jordan. People like to compare him to Michael Jordan. I don't know why. You wouldn't have seen Michael Jordan
But it's
coming
Michael's
out. Can
right
I
not to
finish?
speak.
Can I finish?
You can finish, man.
You wouldn't have seen Michael Jordan coming out wearing a hoodie after what happened to Trayvon Martin. You just wouldn't have seen that. You didn't see Michael Jordan coming out building schools, although he is donating money to help build prisons. You didn't see that kind of thing from an athlete of his caliber. So that's where I think a lot of people is just, you know what I mean. I don't want to say like just overwhelmed by what he does, but I do honestly think when you have a athlete as big as he is with the endorsements that he has, a lot of the things that what he do or what he does is unconventional for a athlete of his stature. I do totally believe that.
It's not unconventional. The difference is the rest of that. Michael Jordan doesn't have a camera crew following him around, taking videos and pictures of him doing it. Michael Jordan.
That don't got nothing to do with him socially and in his community. Go ahead.
He doesn't have a camera crew of his posse, as Phil Jackson said.
Right.
He doesn't have a camera crew following him around while he wears skinny jeans
Yes.
and suits with bow ties, saying, "Yeah, I'm really."
You see how you making it personal?
Yeah, I'm making it personal.
That's why I
You're
know
right.
you hate because you make everything personal. It shouldn't be personal.
No, I have no problem with the way he dresses, by the way. He can wear, Mongo Slade suits however he wants. I really don't care. But no, I just have a problem with the fact that he's going around publicizing what he does for charity. Hold on. I don't have a problem. I have a problem with the way he's doing it. And maybe he's not. Maybe he's not the one promoting it like this.
No, I think he is.
He
No, he is.
Okay, well, you just verified what I was feeling.
But this is my thing. Let's kind of.
Why promote what you're
doing?
doing?
Hold on, wait. Because hold on, I'm trying to make a point. I think going back to the T.O. thing, one of the things I think he's mainly upset about or disagree about is the way he's portrayed in the media. He does not control the narrative of T.O. of how he was. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
The narrative of T.O. is that he was a bad teammate and a bad person. That's the
How is that relevant?
That's the
Get that. Give me
how
that.
is it relevant?
You gotta drive
Because
me
you said you don't agree with how LeBron puts himself out there and what did you just say? You don't agree with how he does what?
Yeah, you heard me.
You was just talking
How
about how he promotes himself and the things that he does.
Uninterrupted.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm saying I think the reason he does that is because he wants to at least have some control over the narrative.
That's who he is.
Of
He does want control of
okay.
it.
Well, let me
Now-
ask you this. Here's something that we've known that he does this all the time.
Yeah.
Whether it's not just his philanthropy, but it's whether he wants to decide what team he's going to play.
Right.
Right.
He's going to call the news conferences about him. He puts that
Right.
on him. But when it comes to philanthropy, doesn't it got to take away a little bit of the gesture by having to point out,
Promote
hey,
it.
look at me. this is what I'm doing?
It depends on how you look at it. Going back to the decision, people, there's a lot of people that don't know that he donated money, and the money that went from that went to the
about
church.
that.
No. But I'm saying
Everybody know about that.
that everybody doesn't know about that.
Just like everybody didn't know Michael Jordan donated, he had a defamation case and he donated the entire settlement to charitable organizations.
But we're not talking about him
Didn't
now.
promote
What he was trying to say, what I'm trying to say is, I think he does things to shine lights on things that he thinks is going to help certain areas, certain causes, all of that stuff.
Okay, that's
you see
fair.
what I'm saying? So if
But
you
why
want
is
to,
that
can I
included in the GOAT
finish?
conversation?
Because what I'm saying is if you want to bring business and you want to shine light and you want to do things in a place that normally gets zero light, then you bring those cameras to Akron. You bring those cameras to the communities where the cameras will never go to. You bring the cameras and you do things in communities, in places, and social wise, philanthropy, all of that stuff, and you do it in a way that shines light. Now, you tell me a time when he hasn't done that. I do not think it's all about him. And the reason I think that it's not all about him, because he's been a star since he was 14 years old. A star. Not somebody that was just locally heroic or locally recognized. He's been a star. He don't need to do nothing to draw attention to himself. Attention is going to come to him. But what he does do, and I applaud him for this, he likes to have some control over the narrative.
He does.
And I do not fault him, because me as an individual, you and all of us up here, if somebody's going to have a narrative about us, I think we would all like to have some say-so in that narrative. I do not like for you to have 5 people that know me from the outside looking in, coming in, giving their opinion on who I am. You see what I'm saying?
There's one thing to control the narrative, but when you sit here and you hire, in controlling that sports narrative, when you hire guys like Nick Wright, right? When you hire guys like him, to where they're they're in the pocket, there's not a negative or critical thing they will ever say about a guy. That's more biased than it is controlling the narrative.
But it's amazing that you say that, but
Yeah.
you won't say about the people that get on there and speak nothing but negative. Why is it always so? Why is it something wrong with somebody controlling or having some sort of control over a narrative that's about them? I don't understand what the problem is with
But hold on, first off, when you're in the public light, you're a public figure.
exactly.
You're a public figure.
Exactly.
He's a general purpose public figure,
Right.
right? Which means there's going to be a narrative about him regardless,
Yeah, negative or positive.
negative or positive, and he needs to accept that as being
Yeah.
a part of the public sphere of influence.
Well,
it's
this
just
is-
like,
but-
hold on,
but-
like,
but this
let's
is the
go-
one
hold
thing
on,
you don't-
can
we don't
I
get to do.
finish? Like going back to what Charles Barkley said, I don't want to be a role model, but you said Charles Barkley was bad for that
Well, I said
when we
he
first
was-
started.
Yep.
I said he
Charles
was-
Barkley said he didn't want to be a role model.
I
That's
didn't
trying
say
to
he was.
control his
I
own
didn't-
doubt.
First of all, I didn't say he was bad for that. That wasn't me. We haven't even talked about Charles Barkley.
You said
We
I
brought him
lived in
up.
Phoenix when he was doing,
He was a bad role model.
but he said he's not a role model.
He said he didn't want to be a role model.
But would you agree that he is just because he's in the
Anytime
public
you're
light?
in the public eye, you become
You
a
have
role
to be a
model.
role model.
So this is my point. LeBron James, he has to accept the good and the bad for being in the public light.
He
And when you
has.
talk-
He does have to accept
No,
it, but that
because
don't mean he has
gets
to
in his
sit
feelings. For
and
instance,
let
Phil
somebody.
Jackson says, yeah, he just comes around with his posse all the time, which he was actually highlighting the fact that everywhere
It's about
LeBron went,
Yep.
he had his crew with him.
Well, hold on, because
Team
because
plays,
his crew,
everything.
because he also helped name another athlete that had all of his crew from high school, and now they're all millionaires taking care of their families.
That
and
part
made
is
them-
true.
That
No,
part
that's
is
what
true.
you
I'll
mean.
give
That
him
part.
that. I'll
Okay,
give
so
him that.
so give him that, but you wasn't gonna say
But no,
that.
I've always given him that. Though.
I'll
No,
give
no,
him
no,
that.
but you ain't mentioning that.
We're not talking about it now.
I know we're not. We're talking about
You brought it up.
we're talking about him controlling the narrative where you say he shouldn't be trying to do that, and that's where me and you
I
totally
didn't say he
disagree.
shouldn't be trying to do it.
Right.
I say, for me, and I'm just talking about the whole charitable piece.
Yeah.
Right?
But
There's-
that was
here's
something
my
from
deal.
someone
Here's my
else.
deal. There's so many other athletes that
That
are
do.
contributing way more, right?
Under the table.
In proportion
Yep.
to what they can actually do. He can do a lot more
Right.
because he has access to a lot more.
Again,
So
again.
But that
But
doesn't
these
make
guys-
him GOAT.
Again,
that doesn't make him the GOAT.
Again,
and that
I
doesn't
don't
make him
think-
any better than Michael Jordan in any
I'm not
way.
right, but again, I don't think this man is going like this. I want people to see me give out this money.
He might.
You know
He
what I'm
might
saying?
be.
I honestly
Might be.
think this man
Do you
says, "Hey,
know for a fact?
no, I don't." Just like you don't know for a fact neither. But what I'm saying
Hey,
is,
Rich Paul, we spoke a while back.
He might
If
be.
you're looking,
I know that. I know
we
this.
spoke a while
This
back.
is what I know.
I
This-
offered to play LeBron James when I was teaching at a middle school. I offered, it was when they had the All-Star game here.
Right.
I offered to play him for $2,000 for any charity at that local school. If he's still interested in it, I'm willing to do it. I just need about 2 months to get in shape. But let me know. Anyway, you can continue.
This is all I'm saying. I'm saying I do know that half of the America wouldn't have known about a school in Akron, Ohio, had not if they would have just put up there, oh, he started a school called I Promise.
Well, nobody knew when Jalen did it either.
Well,
No.
Yeah,
that's
man,
that's,
come on,
that's
from
all
the
I'm saying.
camera.
So I think the one thing that I think, me personally, from watching him, I think he realizes that he has a voice where a lot of people don't, and I think he tries to use it. He's not perfect. I'm not perfect. We're
No,
not perfect.
no.
But I do think he honestly tries to shed light. You know what I'm saying?
And- right.
on
And
situations
here's the
or,
deal.
or things.
I applaud him, actually, for shedding light and for the social issues. You know, I'm a social guy.
Right.
You know, done a
That
lot
doesn't
around the
make him
city
the
of
GOAT.
Houston, right? But that doesn't make him the GOAT for one.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like the fact that it's used as a criteria.
It
It's
shouldn't be.
never
making
been
him the
used
GOAT.
as a
But
criteria.
it
It's
is.
used nowadays as
It
a
is.
criteria.
Well,
for
I
him
think
being the GOAT.
anything when you dealing with him is extreme. So again, we're having a conversation about what someone else said about him being the GOAT because of, you know what I'm saying? And
It should
anytime
be
you
strictly
doing that,
basketball.
Strictly
if
basketball.
you want to
should.
say that, you got to say Bill Russell's the GOAT because he actually played in a social area where it was
Bill
intense.
Russell. Right.
well, I would say
Very intense. If you want to talk, if that's how you want to include
athletes,
it.
right?
Right.
Athletes, then
And,
I would go
and he
Muhammad
also
Ali.
has on the
Right.
court.
Right.
Right.
So
And
we're
I- and I
talking
get
about
that.
Bill Russell.
I get that.
He has to be the GOAT
He
then
has
by
to
those.
be. If
by
we're
those-
going
by
off
that
those-
criteria.
As far as
metrics.
basketball or just
Right.
athletes?
If we're going with the social
Everything
climate and the
included.
charitable
Yep.
and everything included
Yep.
with the
Well, we would
basketball,
say, I would
it has
say,
to be Bill
Muhammad, I
Russell.
would say Muhammad
We're
Ali.
talking
No,
basketball.
basketball.
Okay.
Of course, Muhammad Ali over every
We
athlete.
could say
period.
Kareem as well because he went through that same
Right. I
era
get
as
that.
Bill Russell.
You never heard
Jim
me me
Brown,
say,
yeah.
Jim
you've
Brown.
never heard me say that made him the GOAT.
I'm gonna send you the screenshot. I got
You
it.
can send me a shot. Because
Send you
when we
a
talk
screenshot.
about GOATs, I don't think it's no such thing, to be honest with
This
you.
is gonna lead us into our topic for next week
Yep.
that we're gonna argue about who actually is the GOAT. Is it LeBron? Is it Mike? Is it Kobe? Is it Magic? Is it Kareem?
Is it
Who
nobody?
Is the GOAT? Is it nobody?
Right.
Now we tripping.
It's hard to have GOATs, man. See,
Tonight,
Thanks for having me.
Brother McIntyre.
Yes, sir.
My main man, Mickey Murray. Thanks for tuning in to the Session Sports Minute, where we talk sports and things of all sorts. We'll be back next week, same time, same back place. Have a good one.
peace.
Peace. Now I'm gonna get up and press stop because we ain't got nobody who's supposed to be on payroll.
Ow! Oh, snap. Ouch.